Bye.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is RWD Artics here, bringing you guys a tutorial on how to make Han's RX7 Veilside from the movie Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Now, I'd have to say this car is probably the coolest car in the game right now, but it definitely is very expensive, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. What the fuck? I was just saying this car was expensive and I just got hit. Alright, anyways. As you guys can tell by that, this car sounds amazing, and is probably my favorite car to drift right now. It's definitely my favorite in terms of looks and all that, but this thing is just amazing, and there's so much stuff you can do to it. Even though it is very expensive, I mean, honestly, who cares? Like, this is the one thing that we've been waiting for forever, and it's finally here, so fuck it, just spend the money on it, you know? Who honestly cares? You can upgrade this car at Benny's Garage for around $530,000. To be exact, it's $536,750, but you know, it's definitely worth the money. So once you guys get into Benny's Garage, first thing you want to do is upgrade the car, which does cost a good amount of money, but don't worry, there's plenty more money to be spent. So you're not going to want to put any armor or brakes. And for the bumpers, I have the bolt-on arches. Even though on the movie they do have this splitter on the front, this one has a small one, but the classic RS bumper does look more like the one in the movie, so it's your choice between those two. It's actually your choice on any, but I find the classic RS, it just looks too big and wide for the actual car itself. That's why I went for the bolt-on arches. I mean, as you can see, like, look to the right of the car, see how, like, wide it just comes out? In the movie, it doesn't come out that much like that. I mean, that thing's starting to look like a Supra, so it's like, you know, let's not exactly have that in there. For the engine block, I just kept that the same. I don't really want that in there. Put a stage 4 engine in there. For exhaust, in the movie he has just the chrome tip exhaust, like that's actually what it does look like. It's just one exhaust going out to the side. So I decided to put that in there also. For the fenders, you want to put the rivetless rear arches because the stock ones have the bolts in them, and you don't want that because in the movie he had more of a clean looking car, didn't have any of the bolts or anything like that. So I just decided to keep those out. You can do what you want, but for the hood, you want to do the stock hood because the bolt-on arches has the same hood, but it has the bolts again. So just keep the stock hood, save you some money. Now one thing is the dashboard and all that. Okay, the dashboard, you just want to keep that stock because he didn't strip it out in the movie or anything like that. He didn't put your typical drift handbrake, he just kept everything the same. For doors, he had the doors the same. You don't need to upgrade anything like that. I mean, doors, that's a lot of money for some doors, you know? He didn't really put in anything like that. So seats, he just had some regular, I'm not sure exactly what seats they were, if they're like Momo seats or anything like that. So I just got your typical carbon bucket seats which just look black. The one thing for the wheels, I went for the Apex Clubman just because it has the two little buttons that he used for NOS. And there's other wheels, it looked like he had a Sparko steering wheel, which looks more like the Sprint Basic, but just for the sake of the movie, you know, we have to have those two little buttons. And I didn't exactly see any other wheels that looked better with the buttons. For the lights, I pretty much just kept that stock because I didn't remember him having like some bright ass lights. For the livery, this is one thing that you're going to need, is the black two-tone, because without that, it's not going to have the Veilside look. It's just going to have like some fucking other livery just like that. So we'll just keep it to the black two-tone, just because, you know, that's the only way we're going to get what we're looking for in this car. Once you've done that, you're going to go down to plates, and I just went with the blue on white 3, because in Japan the license plates are white with black, and although it's not white with black on there, it's the closest thing to like any Japanese license plate, just like the text-wise, and it's really hard to explain, to be honest, but for respray, it's probably the simplest respray. You're just going to want to go the classic and orange, and, you know, it's just a regular orange, that's about it. In-game, it'll probably look a little different than the way it does recording, but for secondary, you're not going to want a regular black. I don't know how to pronounce that, but anthracite black, I'm guessing. And if you notice, if I put on a regular black, you can see how it's different from the actual livery on there. So you're going to want that. The only downside is on the back stripe. You know, it's not a full black, but, you know, who really cares? No one's looking back there. The trim color, I went with graphite, just so the seats don't look too dark. And then for the roof, kept stock roof, because the only thing you can do is really take the roof off. And for skirts, I went with street skirts, because they look the most smooth. I mean, carbon skirts, they look pretty nice, or the sports skirts do look nice. Carbons are okay and all that, but the street skirts are closest to what they are in the movie. For spoiler, this is something that might have a little bit of debate, so I went with the drift wing. The one that looks the closest would be the mid-level, just so the shape and all that does look the closest, but it doesn't really look that good. I mean, it's super low. The high level is just, that's not it at all. The mid-level is too low, for me at least, so I put the drift wing, even though if the mid-level was a bit higher, it would be the actual Veilside spoiler. And others are just like big-ass rocket bunnies, so. For suspension, we're gonna drop it all the way down. For the tailgate, just keep that stock, since, see how it sort of goes out with stock? And the only other one that goes out would be the bolt-on, but there's no bolts, so we don't want that. For transmission, turbo, just max all that out. Wheels, you're going to want to go to the sports category and then go to chrome wheels. And it's going to be the wing and master wheels. Those are probably the closest looking to the actual wheels in the movie. And yes, they are, you can't like adjust how much each wheel in particular dishes in and out. So that's the closest you're going to get. For the window tint, he didn't really have a window tint, but on the back it was a bit darker, like that. So I went with a light smoke, because you can still see inside of it, but on the back you can still see that it's dark. Like, you can see the difference there, you know. It's dark to light, and it's not that dark on the actual windows next to your guy as well. So I went ahead with that. That'll pretty much finish off your build, and if you want to lower it, it's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and show some drifting clips. So if you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, comment, favorite, whatever you guys ought to do, and Artics out.